I went. Because I was waiting for you to call me. Whatever.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Recording language, which started this whole thing for recording, which is not illegal. That's insane. I have an escort, like I have two today. Here's Mr. Page. He'll tell you all about the case if you need him to. He's here because of another unlawful arrest. This is the same guy who got 2 domestic violence charges, dropped out of thin air. This is the same guy who arrested me last Friday. This is a temporary restraining order that I filed against Speaks because the very next weekend when I came here, after they all knew I was supposed to be, everything that happened allegedly after that should be thrown out.
All this stuff you heard about America not wanting to fight, wanting to stay out of the war, is a lot of horse dung. Americans traditionally love to fight. All real Americans love the sting of battle. 30 years from now, when you're sitting around your fireside with your grandson on your knee, and he asks you, what did you do in the Great World War II? You won't have to say, I shoveled shit in Louisiana. All right, now you sons of bitches, you know how I feel. I will be proud to lead you wonderful guys into battle anytime, anywhere. That's all.
Mr. It looks like you submitted this on behalf of Las Vegas Corruption Line. So what is Las Vegas Corruption Line?
Philip Ott
Can she do it on my behalf? How does that
versus
work?
City of Las Vegas.
Okay.
Hey,
Morning,
good
y'all.
morning. How are you?
Hi, quick question if I may. I'm obviously not going to be able to hold this phone and record.
Why don't you just leave it there on the table?
Okay.
I mean, you can always order the jazz too.
It doesn't work out well all the time.
Why?
Because remember the issue with the opening statement that's gone?
Oh, okay.
If I would have had this, it would have been there.
In Muni Court. Okay, I get it. No problem. Okay, and so we're here on hearing on your appeal.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, there you go. All right. I'm assuming you want to be heard.
Yes, ma'am. So, Your Honor, the facts in this case, there was no probable cause. That's the first thing to begin with.
For the arrest?
For the arrest, there was zero probable cause. According to Spies, Strong, who else? We had Adam Page, Chief Marshal Newsom, Jamie Honecker. They all stated that they told me to leave. And we got specific. I got specific. Told me to leave where? They all said the same universal answer, the DA's office.
Okay. Because you were in the DA's office and you were recording and they didn't want you recorded there?
No, I was in the DA's office.
Well, I think wasn't a reception.
Yeah, I'll tell you about that part. So I was in the DA's office waiting for Mr. Chin because they had my firearm. And he had been telling me all week to come up there and stay that. And so when they came inside the DA's office, they asked me to step out. I stepped out immediately, and all of them testified on the video that you have. I stepped out into the hallway. That's when I pulled out my cell phone and started recording names and badge numbers.
Okay.
During a non-consensual stop, I had no idea why they were there. Jamie Honecker, he called them because he thought I was there to serve them a lawsuit, which we have admitted that video into court as well. Mm-hmm. So the call was false to begin with. I didn't even know Jamie before that day. I was up there asking for Alex Chin, who I was familiar with via email, via in-person, via phone calls. He told me to come up there Thursday. I went up there. They didn't have the stuff ready. They gave me a phone number to call. I called the number. I texted the number. I put this in court too. I texted the number, and also the dude said he would get back with me. Never got back with me. And that's why I was up there the next day. I was never trespassed, period. And so the language that they're using and to try to cover their tracks with all of this stuff, it's I know it's for a fact, it's unlawful, this whole thing that why we're here right now. When I stepped into the hallway, I began filming. I asked for the names and badge numbers. Mr. Adam Page, and all of these guys are downstairs if you want to bring them up. Mr. Adam Page, under oath, all this is in municipal court. He said that, well, why don't we just wait here because you're not supposed to be recording. I said, okay, what do you mean? Well, recording is illegal. No, I'm about to leave. You're not about to unlawfully detain me. So that's when I picked up my belongings, turned off my camera, started walking down the hallway on the 3rd floor of this building. Timothy Spees came up and physically stopped me from moving any further. Now, I got Adam Page to say that verbatim. I asked him on the stand, who stopped me? What stopped me from leaving? Did I try to leave? Oh, you started moving towards the exit. Where's the exit? That's the only way to the exit? Yes. Okay, so I'm walking towards the exit, right? And so he couldn't tell me, or the court, that I was trying to leave and I didn't. The AO explicitly states you have to be asked to leave. And if you're not asked to leave, if you're asked to leave and you don't leave, that's when they could go into some kind of investigation, I suppose. And this whole thing started with recording the police officers, which on this citation that was altered twice. It was altered once pre-trial, where Officer G. Strong, who's down there right now, he missed 8 parts on that citation. It should have been thrown out then. I argued that in front of the judge and DA. He said he makes mistakes. They have the right to alter it. Whatever. What he did not have the right to alter the second time, and when I say second time, this is mid-trial. My first day of trial started October 27th last year. He was here for every day of it, Mr. Tim. He saw everything. On the second time that they altered my citation, this was 2.5 weeks after day 1. They needed 2.5 weeks to do day 2 of trial because they had no idea that I would be prepared the way that I was. And even with me being prepared, Judge Walker still let them alter the citation to take away the very thing that started this, the illegal recording language. And they were able to alter it to say, well, we wanted to trespass you. No, that stop wasn't based on trespass. It was based on, at that time, on the scene on the 3rd floor for illegal recording. There's nothing illegal about that.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Here's the order. You're not allowed to record in this building. I need your name, date of birth.
Man, you're not getting it, bro. So just take me to jail and I'll bond right out. So the obstruction comes because I didn't give my name under an unlawful order.
I just told you, no, I ain't committed no crime. If you don't give me your name,
I have not committed no crime.
You're recording in the building.
Yeah, and I recorded last week. They could have told me that.
And
they know I've been recording here.
Okay.
It's the first time.
No. I'm telling you that.
Arrest me for it then.
And
arrest me for it. Let's go. Y'all ready?
If you continue to obstruct or hinder my investigation, you will be placed under arrest.
Now you're looking for something. Can I leave? Am I detained?
No.
Am I detained?
At this
For
time,
what?
yes.
For what?
Because now you're
What am I
obstructing
detained
my
for?
Investigation.
Amplified by 100 when you have everybody out with their cell phones. You know, you got First Amendment auditors, right? Those are huge. They didn't have that back in my days.
To stop recording the police, something that's protected by the Constitution, something that's protected by the local NRS here. I think it's 1.7171.1233, one of the two. I personally witnessed you dismiss the same exact case for recording the police for Chile de Castro, who was wrongfully incarcerated for over 4 months while waiting for an appeal. The injustices that's been going on inside of these courtrooms is highly egregious. And I tried to leave. Mr. Spies stopped me. That's highly documented. And during my last hearing, you said that you could address sworn testimony. The guy that started this lied under oath several times. We playing a video of him audibly telling me, and we can play it right now if you need any kind of clarification. But you should have this. So I left everything on flash drive like you asked me to, Your Honor. He literally audibly said, I asked, what am I being detained for? For recording. Recording is illegal. No, it's not. And then he's like, well, if you continue to hinder and do all these buzzwords to obstruct my investigation, oh, okay, now you're fishing, right? And so now that you don't have anything lawfully, you're going to manufacture a criminal case against me. The same guy, after failing to ID, which failure to ID doesn't even fall in obstruction. There's a whole separate NRS for that, and I can tell you about that in a moment. But it would be under the resisting part of the NRS, not obstruction, because there was no lawful investigation to begin with. So on top of that, Mr. Spees sat on the stand and lied multiple times. He said, I asked him in court, Mr. Spees, is that not you telling me recording is illegal? After hearing the video replay at least 5 different times, he paused and said, no. When everybody in the court knows that you just lied and committed a Category D felony.
Recording was illegal?
Oh, you said that.
Okay, let's hear what you said. 1 second.
I said yesterday.
Let's go up there. Tommy, let's go up there. Stay. I'm not playing. No, there's nothing illegal about that. Yes, it is. Kevin? Stop recording. I said no. I said nothing is illegal about that. You said yes, it is. Is that not you telling me recording is illegal?
No.
Okay, we'll move on from that. We're not going to get anywhere with that. We're not going to get anywhere with that. As far as, so since the court has heard, and everyone with ears has heard you say that recording is illegal, would that be the basis?
That's contrary to what he's testified to.
So, Mr. Ott, I told you before, you can't interject commentary into your questions. Okay? For what it's worth, Sergeant Spees has testified that he did not say that recording was illegal.
Yes, sir.
I've seen the video. I've heard what he said. I've heard what he said multiple times because you played what he said multiple times. Okay? You can't change his testimony.
Correct.
The answer is what it is.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to sustain the objection.
Inside of the court. So he keeps telling me no. He kept saying no so many times that the judge had to step in and make a statement saying that he acknowledges what was heard on the video and what was said in here. That guy's still downstairs harassing people right now. I was taken to jail last Friday in this court for trying to file a writ of mandamus for a wrongful conviction video that they're trying to hide from Department 10. The day that I dropped that video on TikTok, Judge Noreen DeMonte's stuff was off the record. And so I just said that because
I don't understand what
that has nothing to do with this, but it's a web of what is going on inside these courthouses to secure these convictions for people. And so the bottom line is, when he lied so many times and the judge had to step in, Julia Watson literally audibly laughs on the record. The 59-minute long video of me handcuffed to this bench. He didn't give me that, the court here didn't give me that video. I did several public records requests for it, trying to prepare for my trial as a pro se. Denied. It's not a public record. But the moment I file a subpoena, I get that same video that was denied to me several times in 48 hours. I pass it along to them, to the defense or to the prosecutor, just like the rules of discovery say. However, I didn't know the entire time they had the video in their possession and were going to use it against me on day 2 of trial. And so when day 2 came, 2.5 weeks after the first day, where they made up all kind of excuses, I'm ready to go. Why y'all need to do babysitting and all these excuses? Oh, somebody got to. No, let's handle this. Y'all were so aggressive about doing it. Let's do it. And so after day 1, they had to come up with an entire remix. And when day 2 came, and Julia Watson strikes again, pulls out this video that should have been given to me during discovery, I raised the question immediately. Later during the trial, when we was going through it, Bobby would say a little slick stuff. Actually, Your Honor, we gave him the video. No, you didn't. I clapped right back on the record. It was so bad that the judge had to step in because he kept trying to cover his tracks and cover up for his partner, who they were trying to secure a wrongful conviction for these court martials in this building. I was handcuffed to that bench for over an hour. That's because they had no lawful reason. Timothy Spies unlawfully searched my entire briefcase with all my personal information behind a closed door while I'm handcuffed to the bench. He brings it out 43 minutes later, and I'm still handcuffed to the bench. And then the supervisor here, or the chief now that Chief Newsom has conveniently retired a couple of weeks ago, or whatever it was, Chief Tizano, he walked out, hey man, okay, you're gonna be charged with obstruction. No. Charge me with this illegal recording that started all of this.
Question. Yes. What you said that main charge or whatever the fuck that he claimed was so illegal was gonna be on that. The obstruction ain't got nothing to do with that. The motherfucking trespass and the yelling ain't nothing they got to do with what they came up there for.
So serving the peace is the main one because you were yelling in the street.
Nah, they weren't on that. I started the piece when he tried to motherfucking tell me that bitch ass lie about it being illegal to record, and then he put his hands out when I tried to leave. That's when I started yelling. So where is that on the ticket? Or where is it in my arrest report? Where is it in my booking? Where is it?
He hit you with obstruction
Because of all.
well, I'm telling you, you go to.
You just showed me. I know what he did.
NRS, that way.
Hold on, listen. None of them NRSs got shit to do with no recording in this building.
And so they got creative. Obstruction, and since I obstructed, I disturbed the peace. No, I didn't do anything. That's fruit of the poisonous tree. If the first unlawful stop is unlawful, everything that happened allegedly after that should be thrown out. This is a temporary restraining order that I filed against Speeds because the very next weekend when I came in here, after they all knew I was supposed to be trespassed, or they said I was trespassed, right? They said I was trespassed, and they said that I would have to have an escort, like I have two today. Here's Mr. Page. He'll tell you all about the case if you need him to. And you said all that to say that that's still an investigation, a criminal investigation, correct? I mean, you're not asking for my name to go play golf, are you?
Objection, relevance.
Mr. Rod, I'll strike the commentary at the end, but I'll allow you to ask the question again. So objection's overruled.
At that point in time when your name was asked, I don't believe you actually committed a crime.
What?
Yeah.
Man, hell no. Hell no.
When we asked you for your name.
Okay, so why did you ask for my name if I had not committed a crime?
Because we were going to trespass you.
Okay, so that trespass, before you trespass someone, walk us through that. Would you have to ask someone to leave first?
Yes.
Okay, and was I actually leaving the hallway by anyone, including yourself?
I asked you to leave.
Okay, but you said several times, your story kind of, I'm getting argumentative. So, you asked me to leave. We'll just roll with it, right? But you can't recall when you asked me to leave, right?
Oh, I asked you to leave in the lobby.
You asked me to leave in the lobby. So exactly when?
Like, you want to know the time?
Yeah. Approximately how long from me us exiting the DA office into that hallway, which was described as 4 or 5 minutes. When in those 4 to 5 minutes did you ask me to leave and I did not comply?
Okay. I asked you at least 2 times, more than once, to leave. The DA's office wanted you to leave while you were in the lobby.
Okay. So it's 2 times.
I don't recall. Yes.
But you just testified you asked me 1 time. Now it's 2?
No, I said it was more than 1.
Okay. Which version do you want the court to believe today?
More than 1.
Objection, argumentative.
As sustained. Mr. Rod, we've also gone down this road. The city's objected to this, has asked and answered.
Yes, sir.
You've asked this of this witness multiple times.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to direct you to move on.
Yes, sir. All right, so let's go back to the trespass. You said you didn't want to arrest me. Is that because you had no lawful reason to arrest me at that time?
At what time specifically?
When you said you didn't want to arrest me, you just wanted to trespass me. Is that because you did not have a lawful reason to arrest me or cite me?
At the time we asked you, when the time and point when the sergeant asked for your name, at that particular time there was no lawful reason to arrest you.
He's here because of another unlawful arrest calculated by Mr. Timothy Spies. Mr. Timothy Spies. This is the same guy who got 2 domestic violence charges, dropped out of thin air. This is the same guy who arrested me last Friday for sitting in the court filing a writ of mandamus.
I know. I want you to be able to argue what you want to argue, but we're arguing your appeal.
Okay.
The appeal that we're here today
Yes, ma'am.
on.
Okay.
This all kind of seems outside of the
All right, I'm sorry. I'll hone it back in. Okay, so let's go back to Chief Newsom, man. My apologies. But this has been going on literally a year since it started on the 30th. And my life has been hell. They've been making it hell. And so, as far as the appeal, I asked Chief Newsom on the stand. I subpoenaed 7 of them. I subpoenaed Page. I subpoenaed Bly. I subpoenaed Spies. I subpoenaed Jamie Honecker. They only subpoenaed 1 person. But it was 7 people on the scene. Only 3 of them wrote reports. And the one that started it wrote none. And he's a supervisor against their own policies. So on top of unlawfully searching my bag, unlawfully arresting me, you break your own policies and the law by coming in this court and lying to secure a conviction. And then laughing about it in my face, literally. I would not be here if it was not for them. I was trying to leave. I was not combative. Anybody in this court would tell you I'm very, very, very nice. I leave with respect to anybody. I don't pick sides. It's not about race to me. Because I subpoenaed 2 black officers. Come on in here and tell your story. I care about right and wrong. And so that whole thing was wrong. And they fabricated this case. My opening statement was denied. And they can say all day that she didn't make an opening statement. She absolutely made an opening statement. But whether she did or not, we don't have the record, right? So who knows? Maybe she didn't. I know she did, right?
Well, it doesn't really matter because you want to give an opening statement.
And I asked for one. On the record, clear as day. I said, before I called any witnesses, because it was always in the back of my mind, hey, Your Honor, Mr. Audit, time for your case in chief. Okay, can I make an opening statement, please? And it got crickets for 5 seconds. And when I looked at the jazz video, the prosecutor's sitting right here. Bobby was eating. Julia was writing something. The moment they heard those words, they looked up like a deer in headlights because they knew they were dead wrong for what they did. And then so they said, Bobby even went so far as to object. He objected to me having an opening statement. Judge Walker agreed. Well, you had that opportunity at the beginning of trial. When? Because I was waiting for you to call me.
You can reserve and make your opening statement
Correct.
for your case in chief.
Correct. And so, and the games that were played during that trial, I mean, we got people like G. Strong, who's downstairs right now, if we need to get him. He can tell you, he can't even define obstruction. So you're charging me with something and you can't define it? I got to ask you 10,000 questions to get basic law from you, and you're a law enforcement officer?
Could you define what obstruction is?
Not without looking at it verbatim is what you're wanting. I would have to look
It's
up.
a general, you got the ticket, you should be able to tell me what obstruction means.
My definition of obstruction?
No, the law.
Again, I would have to look at the...
Would it help if I pulled that in RS up?
Sure.
So would you agree that under an unlawful order, no citizen should produce any ID when requested unlawfully?
You're asking my opinion?
I'm just asking the question.
Also, this is the same guy who had no idea, allegedly, where he filed this citation at. Because I wanted to know who's responsible for sending this thing back to you without my acknowledgement. Also, this is the same guy who had no idea, allegedly, where he filed this citation at. Because I wanted to know who's responsible for sending this thing back to you without my acknowledgement.
Do you recall the exact date or on or about when this ticket was actually filed in the court system?
Again, I don't control when they actually file it. Just for clarification, I think you're confused in that when I wrote the citation and did my report, I brought over basically an arrest packet to the city. That was for sure not 45 days. It might have been that day, the day after, I'm not sure.
Okay. You know that I've gotten a discovery exchange between the city and I, correct?
I'm not privy to that, but you being pro se, I would assume that, yes, you get discovered.
And do you recall me asking you several times, weeks after the situation on May 30th, when are you going to file the citation? Does the filing date of July 17th this year sound about right?
Again, I don't know when I know I submitted the paperwork prior to July 17th. This occurred on May 30th.
Okay. So although the information that I have, you're telling me that the citation was actually filed within a week of issuance? Objection has to answer.
Because the second time when they altered the citation, it wasn't just a harmless. Edit. They removed the recording language, and they didn't realize they gave me the wrong ticket because during discovery, when I looked through my discovery, it said sent back clear as day. That's when I addressed it pre-trial, and they tried to dress it up and say, okay, well, he's allowed to do that. Fair enough, I'll take that on the chin. But the second one, where you explicitly moved the very language that started this whole thing, that's a problem because now you're weakening my case in a substantial way. Because my whole defense was around illegal recording, not around unlawful trespass that came up mid-trial. That the trespass word didn't come up until November 3rd. And that's when the whole case shifted once again. They didn't give me the evidence that they should have gave me. They're letting these cops lie on the stand. I even got Julia Watson whispering answers to Timothy Spies. And if you want me to play it right now, I promise you I can.
If a person's handcuffed, how would they open that door?
All you gotta do is turn around and hit the handle.
How would they open that door?
All you gotta do.
City of like co-conspirating with the witness.
But Your Honor, the only thing I'm asking for is this whole thing to be dismissed. It's unlawful. I don't want another trial because it's a whole unlawful thing to begin with. I want it all vacated, and I want them to leave me alone. Will I have a chance to speak after her?
Sure.
Okay. I'm done for now.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.